And we are recording. Wow. Hello, ICA land. We are on ICA TV and we are, I don't know what day it is, Wednesday today. It's all a bit mad. And we are so lucky to be recording an interview today. So because we're recording it because this amazing lady, Beth, is all the way over in America and we're based in West Wales. And so our time difference is so different. Else Beth would have to get up at about 4:30 a.m. and in my books there's only one 4:30 in the day. So welcome, Beth, to a recording of ICA TV. And how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so we've been having a little chat beforehand about where we are and what we're doing. So it's great to have you here to share about your business. So where are you in America? Because we know it's a huge place.
Right. So I'm in the Midwest, which is a bit deceiving, which is really in the middle of the United States. I'm in Indiana, in the greater Indianapolis area, if you know about the Indianapolis 500. So south of Chicago, south of Michigan, kind of right there in the middle of the heartland.
So what is it known for?
It's really known for agriculture. So we have a lot of farms around the area, but where I live now, I moved from that area to the greater Indianapolis area about a year ago. And so it's really known worldwide for racing, for the Indianapolis 500.
Okay, because that's passed me by. I might let you know. Not something I would know an awful lot about.
But if you came here, you would see lots of farmland. It is the breadbasket of America. They kind of say that sometimes. So there's a lot of corn, there's a lot of beans, there's a lot of cows. That's what it's known for.
Wow, okay, that's cool to know. And so we were saying that we are weenie compared to America. And it's like, okay, we'll sit, specifically Wales. I'm based in Wales. ICA is based in Wales. And we think it's a big country, but it's not compared. We probably sit into a state of America.
Right,
So
yes.
Probably like that. And we're going, actually, we can drive probably from one side of the country to another in 5 hours. So I think,
okay,
yeah, so it's like, we're like this big. So in your world of coaching, this funny old word that we have over here called coaching, what is your niche? Who do you work with?
I work with middle-aged women over 50 years old. So empty nest, career change. So that whole transition time, it could be death, it could be divorce, it could be any kind of transition. But I primarily work with women over 50 who are in midlife.
And is there a reason why you chose that?
Definitely, because that's where I'm at. After I experienced my divorce, I had a lot of life-changing events that changed my whole world, and in a wonderful, wonderful, positive way. So I love to help women rebuild their life, is what I say. So change is not bad. Change can be absolutely fantastic. And I think this is the best time of life. I would never want to go back to 20. I don't want to be 30. I love being 54 years old. I think it's the best time of life.
I'm with you. Absolutely with you. And I think the whole thing about this scary thing that I think over history that we've been told, God, you're over the hill. Right. Whatever terms they use, or you've actually, God, you're getting old, And my children, they used to say, Mum, should we talk about memory? Cheeky toads, So it's a bit things like that we've been brought up with. Mm-hmm. And I think as people over 50 is the fact that when I remember my mum being 50 and I remember her being old.
Yes, I think we're really changing that. And that's my specialty, that's what I love, is embrace this time, is that you can get in the best shape of your life because you have time. And you can change careers because why not? You can do things online now. And it's never too late to start again. So, and it could be a new relationship. A dating website is how I met my sweetheart. Like, I'm 50, so I had dated for 30 years. Talk about daunting, but it's fantastic. I could write a book or do a stand-up comedy routine on what a dating, what it looks like to date over 50. But it's great. And then, all of these great things can happen, and you have time and you have money, and you can even look at your we talk about finances. Some women, that scares them because either due to divorce or death, for the first time, they're responsible and they don't know how to navigate those waters. So
absolutely. A lot of the best people out there, I'm not saying being in a long-term relationship is not an amazing thing, but a lot of us have been through that divorce thing, and we have come out the other side, ladies.
Right.
Absolutely. And me personally, better. And I think a lot of us are, because we've grown in a different way.
Yeah.
So is there out there a stigma still about age?
Oh, I think if you allow it, a lot of my clients, they'll say, well, it's too late for me, or I'm too tired, or I could never get in that shape, or this is just my circumstance. And so my job is to kind of unearth where they're stuck and figure out, and then they go, oh wow, I can do that. And it's really funny. I was working with one client, and at the end of the time, what I really found out was, when we broke down all the layers, was, what do you really want? I want to be hot. Right. Oh, why not be hot at 50? I mean, it doesn't look like it did at 20, but it doesn't matter. Yes, you can be hot. Why don't you want to look attractive? Sure we do. And so there's all these things, even travel. I mean, that's one of my big passions. Is I took a solo trip overseas. You can do it. So I love to include that in there, because I think sometimes when you do something that's scary, it opens up the doors to do some of the other things that aren't so scary.
And I suppose it's about permission.
Yes.
Not by definitely. Other people,
you
but
give
permission
yourself
for
permission.
Ourselves.
Yeah. And confidence. It helps you overcome fear. If you can step out and do something that scares you, and then you realize, wow. I mean, I was on the airplane, and the little screen was going, and I saw myself, I'm over the water on my way to Ireland. And my exact words were, holy, I'm on my way to Ireland. Like, wow, like all by myself, and then when I came home, I thought, if I can do that, I can do anything. Right? That was scary, but it was wonderful. And I saw how good the people in the world are. And, people were kind, and I felt safe. But there was this sense of accomplishment and overcoming fear of doing something by myself.
Yeah. And I suppose I'm looking at my experiences. Yes, I did travel a little bit before I got married, a little bit in the UK and that. But actually, while I was married at that time, we're talking about marriage, is the fact that I passed on that responsibility for the decision making and the planning and the money, because I was a home mum at home. So I didn't earn the money. So that was somebody else's responsibility to do that. So as we grow through our ages, those jobs weren't our jobs. Our job was something else, which we're really good at, but it's not that we didn't know how to do the money or the responsibility. We just passed that job over to somebody else. And I feel that loses our ability to tell us how amazing we are. We are confident, but we think, oh, that's not our job anymore. We can't do that. So when we come out the other side, go, oh my God, it is our job and we can do it. And it's exciting.
It is exciting. Yeah, we can. It's just like doing some of the banking that maybe you'd never done before. And, a spouse passes away, or you get a divorce, or whatever, is that you realize, oh, I can't. And sometimes you have to ask for help, and that's okay. Right? I mean, there's things I'm no good at. And so financial things I've had to ask for, technology I'm horrible at, but it's not that I can't learn it. I just have to ask the right people. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. And give yourself permission to actually put your head above that parapet and go, okay, I can't do that, but it doesn't mean I'm silly. It doesn't mean I've got no ability to do it. I just need to do it. I need to learn from somebody. And yes. I think coaching is part of that as well. I think that's definitely to put your hand up and go, get it, I'm struggling. I need some input from somebody.
Yes, just a new perspective, you know, or someone to ask the right questions, or to almost give you permission to try some of these things out and navigate that, to help navigate it.
Do you find that having been through certain circumstances helps your client believe that it's possible?
It completely gives you credibility. Yes, if I hadn't been through that, they might say, well, okay, you don't understand me. I do understand. And my identity forever had been my children. Mm-hmm. You know, I was somebody's wife. I was somebody's mom, you know, and I still am, but that's changed. And so I think it's an odd feeling for us as moms to realize that now what? That's always been my identity, right? And so then you're like, oh, wow, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could try. I've always wanted to take an art class, but I'm scared, or I hear this a lot. I always wanted to take a yoga class or an exercise class, but oh my God, can you imagine me in those yoga pants? Who cares, right? I mean, you know, so put the yoga pants on and try and give it a whirl. I mean, you might like it. It might change your body. It might, you know. So I just think it's that permission thing to go ahead and try. Or I always wanted to go to a cooking school. Or I always wanted to, you know, all these things that we're afraid to try. And then you get this confidence and you realize that your happiness comes from within. And then once you're happy, then all of a sudden the people that are around you, your significant other, your children, your parents, they all go, wow, what are these good vibrations you're putting on?
What are you on?
Yeah. What are you, that's what I get. And it's because I realized no person or thing or amount of money or anything can make me happy. I had to figure that out on my own. And then I can give. And the more you give to others, then you just put off all these positive vibes, and it's fantastic.
It's like, ooh.
That's what I love to do. I love to help women realize what actually makes you happy. And they've forgotten because they've spent so much time, even the restaurants we pick sometimes. Well, it's my birthday, but I'll choose here because my kids or my spouse or whoever, they don't like what I like. So we're so used to putting ourselves second we feel a lot of guilt when we put ourselves first.
The feeling is still hanging, you know, even if you do change that tact and you make a decision, I can still feel a hanging feeling about it's okay. I can go there. I can do that. Even if you don't like it, I'll go on my own. It's that being able to stand out and do that, to put a big smile on your face, really. And that's an energy.
That's definitely energy.
And power, not power over anybody else, but power, feeling that power. Wow.
Yeah.
Feeling good. So your ideal client then, we know that it's a she.
It's a she.
So it's a lady. Ladies over the age of 50 that have, their children have, you know, grown those wings and we've locked the front door.
Right.
Maybe even change the locks.
Maybe. That's right.
In a loving, caring, motherly way, obviously.
We're encouraging their independence.
Absolutely. Bought them a suitcase, as I used to say to mine. I'm going to buy you a suitcase when you're there.
That's right.
But who else is this person? Who is this person that needs your support?
Right. So this isn't always, people say, well, is this always just for divorced women? Absolutely not. This could be someone that just says, I've done my career. I've been in this work for 30 years and it's been very fulfilling, but it's just dragging me down. And I'm not ready to retire yet. In fact, I financially can't retire. So career change seems impossible or scares me. So it's that person. So it's that woman who's, you know, experiencing that. It could also be a woman who is, I just have no energy. I've gained 30 pounds. I'm inactive. I just don't feel like I can keep up with my grown kids if we do go do something, or my spouse, or even myself. Is I really love to do this, or this, but I just can't physically because I've let myself go. I haven't had the time. So I love to help women do that. I've done 5Ks. I love to hike. I've done the Grand Canyon. There's a multiple ways that we can do that. And then just energy itself. I'm really big into energy, and that women just don't understand most of the time. And then maybe they do. It's because it's this huge responsibility. And it's the old saying, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. But we really are. The matriarch has a lot of influence. And so I think once mom is allowed to be happy, it's this ripple effect to those around us. And even our girlfriends. So yeah, so my client is not, like I said, not just the divorced woman. So it could be someone who's seeking a career change. And if it is a divorce, I've experienced that. And so I think that I love is that I am definitely not one to sit and play the blame game. We're gonna move forward to get you going. You know, that's, if you're looking for a counselor to figure out why it happened, I'm not that girl. I'm the one that's gonna say, here we are, girl. Where do you want to be? Let's move forward. Let's look into the future. What's your future ideal self look like, right? Yeah, so that weight is another one that I love to work with. So yeah, and just if anyone's just suffering with midlife issues like hot flashes, and memory is one of the things. And so I can't cure all those things, but I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve to help with those.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My notes in your phone is okay. Right?
Absolutely, it's fine.
I can go to the grocery store and come home. I went to get milk and I come home with 6 things and I forgot the milk.
Totally. But that's okay. And it's that, and it's a bit like that whole, again, go back to the permission. It's okay that we're not perfect.
Right. Yeah. Give ourselves a lot of grace.
Oh yeah. Give yourself a break. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about this ideal client of yours, who is this lady who is in a changing time of their life, or wish there be a changing time of their life because they're not happy where they are, what sort of problems are you solving for them?
A lot of times it's a plan, it's hope, it's someone who thinks they just don't have a choice. This is just my lot in life. I've made it to here and it's too late. You know, I'm 55 years old. I have to work this job. I can't do anything else. I'm in this relationship. It's never going to get better. I can't take the trip because I can't afford it. My finances are a mess. I'm scared. That person, I love to say, okay, you just wait till we work together.
Let's get this
At the end of 12 weeks, you're going to be a new woman. You're going to be excited. We're going to figure out what's going on, you know, and I'm going to encourage you. I am the queen of motivation. I am Pollyanna. I'm ridiculous. My kids say you're obnoxiously optimistic. And that just works for me, you know, and I love to create, right behind me is my vision board. Like, I believe in that. And, you know, it's like taking the trip to Ireland seemed impossible. And I did it, and I get to go again. So I have another trip planned. So anything's possible. You just have to believe it.
Absolutely.
Big goals.
Yes. Was it big, hairy, scary ones?
Big, hairy, scary goals. Yes.
Put them out there. And part of that is if you don't think about it, if you don't aim at it, if you don't see it, you can't have it.
You can't have it. If you want fitness and you don't move, it's not going to work, right? Or if you don't want everyone taking part of you and you don't put up the boundaries, it's not going to change. So we push through resistance and we find ways to get you where you want to be.
What sort of technique would you use if somebody came to you and said, I understand I've got to change, but I'm scared that I'm going to lose friendships or relationships even? How would you sort of support them with that?
So the first thing I'd say is, who can you control? You can't control their reaction at all. The only person you can control is yourself. That's it. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off people, because I think, especially as women and moms, we think we can take care of and control all of these things. And then we realize, really, we can't. And I really learned that on the yoga mat. is I had an instructor that used to say, you've carved this time out for yourself and you can't do anything else but breathe. Oh, and then I would apply that to, you may lose a friendship and that's okay. You can't control how she responds. You can control you and just trust that it's going to be okay. And my guess is I doubt you would lose it. It's that when she sees you put up some boundaries and what that does for you, tell me how you did that. I might be interested in that. And in the beginning, even our children or our spouse or our significant other, sometimes they resist when you start doing these, putting up boundaries or doing things for yourself. And then when they see the result, then they're like, oh, wow, mom is really happy. Mom is really doing some cool things. Or my spouse, wow, who is she? I want to spend time with her. Like, you know, she's a dynamo. She's really doing some great things. Or your sister, or, you know, your girlfriend. So I just think it has this amazing, like, I always think of these little positive energy vibes coming off of myself, like a top spinning around. Is pretty soon they want some of that. They want to know what you have. What are you drinking? What are you doing?
What are you doing? I want some. Absolutely.
I want some of that. So I think it's okay when you take the responsibility off and just realize you can't control them.
But you can yourself.
You can yourself. That's it. That's the only person at the end of the day you can control.
Yeah. And I suppose it's about living the life you want, even though it's scary. But also, actually, when you do put yourself first, you can actually give your energy to other people, which is
it's kind of like really the oxygen mask.
Cool
you know, you can't take care of anyone else if you're dying, right? So you have to take good care of yourself, so then you can give to others. So then you have enough energy to give to others, and then that gives you more energy. Because I think we all know, you know, it's just like giving great gifts to people we love. I would much rather give than I love to give gifts, but when you give the one that you've really thought about and it matches them, it's the same with your friendships. Like you said, sometimes teaching other people, watching you put up those boundaries, then it gives them the freedom to do the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do remember once, quite a long time ago, that I had a friend over for coffee, as you do, you know, and my husband was actually cooking tea, you know, cooking our evening meal. And we were just chatting away. And the fact that I was allowing him, so she thought, allowing him to cook tea, cook our evening meal, she went away going, that's really interesting. She said, that's really interesting that you're allowing him to cook dinner. And it was like, well, I'm not actually allowing him to do anything. It's just something that happens in our home, in our relationship. And she took that as a learning step, a learning item for her life, her responsibilities in her relationship as well. And I wasn't actually telling her that it was right or wrong. It was just what happens in our house. But she was able to learn by seeing something different that was a positive thing.
Right.
And when you're teaching, when you're sharing, when you're coaching, you can actually share that with your clients of going, it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just there.
It's just there. And it changes. And it does change. You know, my prior relationship, the one that failed after 27 years, to my new one is completely different. Completely different. And some people say, oh, I've done that for years. That's just how it is. I'll carry that in my next relationship. Once again, you have a choice. Absolutely. You have a choice to not do that. Do you do it well right in the beginning? Maybe not, maybe some days. But when it happens, it's such a beautiful thing. You know, allowing someone to do something for you. Last night I was busy. I had 2 coaching calls back to back at the end of the day, in the evening. And I came home and he had bought me this gorgeous salmon dinner and laid the fork out and said, honey, I know you're really busy tonight. I wanted to make sure you had dinner before it started. That would have never happened before. And now I'm just like, before I would have felt lots and lots of guilt. Oh God, I should have thought about it. I should have planned. Instead, I just said, thank you.
Thank you.
And then beamed with this glow of, wow, we have this mutual respect relationship, and what a beautiful thing it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And to be able to share that with your clients, not specifically your relationship, you know, but to be able to share that it's actually a fantastic way to go when you've got your energy and you're well enough to take those steps.
Right.
Yeah. So when you're thinking about your clients and they come, how do they contact you? Do they ring you? Do they email you? What do they do if they want to make contact with you?
If they're like, if I don't know them yet, or are you saying ones that I'm currently working with?
Ones that don't know you yet. If they've gone, oh, I really need a change and I need to talk to somebody, how would they contact you?
I normally, they'll reach out to me sometimes in a direct message off of Facebook, or they'll see my link on Instagram. They'll go to my website. I have hours set up there where I have a free breakthrough session where we can talk to see if we're a good match. Or I'll reach out to people sometimes if I see they commented something that kind of is like a plea for, oh, I'm kind of interested in this. I'll send them a message and say, let's have a virtual cup of coffee and see if this works. Yeah. And that's how it's worked so far, and that seems to be a good way. But like I said, the calendar is on my website at beadynamicwoman.com.
Even the name, sweetheart. It's just like, yeah, we can do this, isn't it? It's like, yes, we can do it, and that gives you permission to come in and go, actually, let's talk to Beth. That's good. We can do that. That's very cool. Very nice.
Yeah, even my coaching has changed. So I originally called it Get Up and Go, and now it's called Be a Dynamic Woman. And the reason is the word dynamic means ever changing, full of energy and new ideas. And I thought, that's it. That's you know, and that's life. I mean, just because you start out with one doesn't mean it can't flow into another one. And I think that's how we look at life is, oh, it's this. I have a lady that was getting all caught up in her exercise, and she said, I really just don't like it. I said, well, then quit doing it. Do something else. She liked to dance. I said, okay, well, look up some, and so I found her a dance routine that was for someone who had it's so specific for bad knees. And so she could dance even with this one that was for bad knees. And I'm like, well, don't do something you don't like. Why do I do that? Exactly. You don't have to run. You don't have to lift weights. You can dance.
Yeah. And I think that's the fluidity of, I can hear through is your coaching practice, is actually, it's not a stringent ABCD, not at all.
No,
it's everybody's an individual.
Everybody's an individual, yes. And so I call it the total transformation. It's 12 weeks long, but that's definitely going to be totally geared towards the woman and her needs. And it's interesting because almost all of my clients, it changes and ebbs and flows as we go.
And that is where we started with our energy chat. It's about where you are with the story, where you are with your energy, and what steps you are doing at that right time. Wow, that's brought that all the way around to the beginning. That's pretty cool. That is very cool. That's very cool. So I think out there on ICA TV land, you know, if you've got any challenges in relation to your own personal growth, it is actually, don't wait, don't loiter. You know, I do the whole thing, ladies, is that life's too short. Mm-hmm. If you are struggling in any way and you need somebody to talk to, you know, do reach out, you know, and if you're not getting the right answers from the person that you're reaching out to, then reach out again, because it's not a never, you know, you might not connect with that person well. So keep reaching out, because there is somebody out there who is going to support you the way that you need to be supported. So don't hang back, darlings. You know, even if we're in our 50s, we can still do stuff, because we're not old. We've got another 50 plus, God knows, years to go, and we need to be happy in what we're doing. So any sort of golden key I would give anybody watching is, you know, to literally see what it is that you can talk to somebody about. I'm going to mention the COVID word, because we are living through such a different thing at this moment in time. So don't hold on to things that you're thinking about, find somebody. Don't make it a money thing. Don't make it a time thing. Don't make it a I can't thing, you know, because everything can be worked out. But if we miss our option to live the best life that we can, then we're actually doing ourselves a disservice, but also everybody around us. Because we've got to that stage in our life that we can give more as long as we give to ourselves, life or business. So I'm talking out to ICA TV land. You know, if we're touching anybody's lives out there, just put your hand out and ask somebody to come along with you, because between us, we're doing all right. We can help. We can be supportive to you, and don't make it about money, because
definitely
life's too short.
It is too short to not buy the dress, to drink the wine, to eat the cheesecake.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, and mine's sort of like, go and jump in the puddle.
Right. Jump in the puddle with wild abandon. Yes, that's exactly right. That's totally my philosophy. Yes.
Yeah. And right at this time of year in the UK, there's a lot of puddles, but jump in the puddles, kick the leaves, climb the trees.
In your wellies.
In our wellies. We like a wellie.
I want to get a pair of wellies.
Ladies from the UK, and I think there's some American ladies watching as well. You know, it's an English word, I think. Wellies. We used to do things like called welly wangling. Have you ever heard that? Welly wangling.
It sounds dirty.
It sounds very dirty, but it's a very, very. We have fates. I don't know. I'm not very good in America, you know, but we have fates, which is like probably a carnival, a show.
Okay.
But very local, small, so a village fete. And then there'll be things to do like donkey rides, or throw the ball at a can, or, you know, little fun, not commercial things. And one of them was welly wangling back in the day. And it was see how far you can throw your welly.
Oh, that's great. So there was a technique.
There had
overhand,
to be
underhand.
Yeah. So that's going back a few hundred years. That's definitely proving that I'm over 50, and proud to be over 50, I might add. Oh, my love. It's been awesome, Beth. Absolutely awesome chatting with you. Please send me your links to your page and your group, etc. And I will pop them up on the thread so people can check you out, as they say, see what you're about. And so it's easy. It's a marketing thing. If you're watching there, don't expect people to find you. Help them find you. Some links, give them information. But I say it's been an absolute pleasure, my sweet, for you to join me in ICA TV from all the way across the pond. Always want to say that.
It's always a pleasure to talk. I love it. The energy we have together is just fantastic. I love it.
It's been absolutely great. And hopefully we've been able to support other people out there to make a choice if they are going through a challenge. So
definitely reach out. Right. It's a rough time right now. So definitely don't suffer alone. Yes.
Totally. Right, darlings. ICA TV is on its way out because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's getting very dark in my room. And it will be black in a minute, and I'll have to put a head torch on. So we won't see me at all. So I am on my way out. But if you've got any challenges or anything you need from either of us, you know, we are here to support you. And ICA TV watchers, if you have not been on an interview, I think we can check with Beth that it hasn't been that scary.
Not at all. No, it's just like having a cup of coffee with your friend.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a chat. But actually, we are looking for people to join us on an interview for week after next. So if you are free and you want to share about your business and share with other people what you do, that'd be great. Give me a shout, and we'll be welcoming you to our hopefully a bit lighter room, because I might need a head torch, to share your story. So fantastic. I will love and leave you, my darlings, and we will speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.